All right, shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem HaKadosh. Demonis to the apostles and the elders of millstone who rule well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. This is Ira from Great Millstone, Wisconsin. And this is going to be a short video on the RFID chip, the microchip, the mark of the beast. As we know, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have coined this year the mark of Karagma. The year of Karagma, Slakia. A little slip of the tongue. But the year of Karagma. And since then, since the beginning of the year, we've seen the most news and the most technological breakthroughs and the most coverage on this microchip, this mark of the beast, like no other. This has been covered more than anything than it ever before. Just in this year alone, and they're constantly moving forward with their technological developments on top of the near field communication, the Internet of Things, and really hooking this internetwork into a one world wide web, and they're doing things with these smart electronics, these appliances. Everything has to be smart now. Everything has to be connected to the internet. Everything has to have near field communication chips in it. So what this is the GITEC Technology Week in Dubai, which is United Arab Emirates over in Saudi Arabia, if brother needs to know exactly where it is. Now, this is something I stumbled across at work actually when surfing the web. Now, this was on October 12th, so this is within the week. This was on Monday, I believe, because today's the 17th. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday, I believe. So this was filed on October 12th, 2019, and it says Etisalat unveils microchip implant at GITEX Technology Week in Dubai. Now they have Saturday. This was last Saturday, but they had Technology Week in Dubai, and I actually have a old coworker that recently moved to Dubai, and I asked her about this, and she said, yeah, they have a microchip technology that's implantable, and I couldn't get the exact Snapchat video, but she said, yeah, this is real. Matter of fact, so let me scroll down here, and so let me start the article. It says it's the size of a grain of rice. If you thought having a mobile can bring the whole world in your hand, then here's an update for you. A new concept introduced at the 39th GITEC Technology Week is promising people the ultimate form of mobiles by giving humans bionic abilities via microchips implanted in their bodies. So now, this sounds a lot like what? The smartwatch, which is the little iWatches or the Galaxy Gear or whatever you want to call it, but except it being on your wrist, it's going to be implanted in your hands now. So they're actually trying to turn this into cyborgs. It says Etisalat has partnered with Swedish company Biohacks International, which is the company that started implanting their employees back in, I believe, 2017. It says to implant microchips in a person's hand that can be loaded with all kinds of data, including your medical history and passwords, etc. The demonstration of the microchip NFC card, near field communication, was showed on the opening day of GITEX Technology Week 2019 to Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai, who lauded the technology. So now you got the Crown Prince of Dubai who is involved in this. So this should really tell you that the elites of the whole world are coming together to create this microchip, this RFID technology, man. It says several ministries, including the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, also showed interest in imbibing the technology and are in tasks with the Swedish firm to integrate it. The rice grain sized biocompatible NFC implant can be inserted just under the skin between the index finger and thumb. The chip can be injected under the skin exactly like a vaccine shot, explained Johan Osterlund, the founder and CEO of Biohacks International. His firm has manufactured thousands of such chips in Sweden and Europe. It says the biocompatible NFC implant enables seamless digital interaction with most everyday encounters. For example, getting rid of keys, loyalty tokens, money, and access cards. So you'll be able to swipe your hands just to start your vehicle, just to get into the car door, just to open your door, or your apartment door. Opening your garages. Your money is going to be installed on the chip as well. So that's where your direct deposit is going to go. That's the whole point of this cryptocurrency, right? It says and access cards, which we use now on a day-to-day basis to scan in and out of our jobs, right? It says you can even open doors or start a car, for example. I didn't even read this part. It says they can also be loaded with medical data that can be accessed if the person was ever in an accident. Johan told College Times, adding that the chip can stay inside the human body for 10 to 20 years and can be replaced after that. So they expect this technology to last up to 10, 20 years, and that's not biodegradable, Biodegradable, meaning that it within your body it starts to disintegrate or break down. So they're trying to make this technology built out of some type of steel or some type of glass reinforced plastic, or vice versa. It says the cost price of the chip is 150 euros, but for students, Johan said they will give a 50% discount. So this is one of the things that's going to make it convenient, man. All these things that this article just mentioned, plus for students, which are the younger generation, which are any probably any minor, you got your college students, 50% off, man. So for 75 euros, that's cheap. This is Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak. And that image is the worship of the philosophy of this world, man. And that's really everything in one. That's your Christianity, your Buddhism. Do what thou wilt. Worship any god that you want. Do anything for money. You only live once. All these philosophies culminate and make up the image, man. And the image is basically forget the Most High. It said, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't go with the way of the society, you're going to be killed, man. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So that's everyone that from a small social status to a great social status. Rich and poverty. Walking the streets to being bond or being in prison, man. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And best believe those that are in prison are going to receive this mark, man, which is the RFID chip. Because they're going to have, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a pilot to where as soon as this RFID technology is mass produced for everyday citizens, the prisoners are going to be the first ones to be guinea pigged into getting it. They'll have to receive that mark of the beast in order to be eligible for early parole or certain social programs or work release or anything. It says or in their foreheads. Now let me look at this word mark here. I just want to go back to the definition. And that word mark in the Greek is charagma. This is a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead and the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Which everyone who doesn't follow the Most High is an Antichrist. Everyone that defies that the Lord came in the flesh is an Antichrist. But it says the mark branded upon horses, and that's what you're going to be. This society, you're going to be a horse that's been branded, as property, by Esau, and that's against the Most High because we are the Lord's property. The children of Israel are the Lord's property. It says thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. And idolatry is all over the image of the beast. It says a scratch or etching, an example, stamp as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure, Now, when you go into this, so it's a sculpted figure, right? But they took out of the definition an impalement or a stake, It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636, going all the way back to the universal product code, man. Because when you add up those zeros and ones, which are binary code, you're gonna get 666 in the beginning, middle, and end of the barcode. Well, when you go to Isaiah the 36th chapter, in the 6th verse, it says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt." Now, when you look at the word reed, I bring it up all the time. Matter of fact, the Latin for the word reed is cannula. Now, when you go into the word cannula, it says from Latin, little reed, is a tube that can be inserted into the body, often for the delivery or removal of fluid or for gathering of samples. Now, this is what looks like a cannula, right? Now, when you go back to the article and you go back here, it says the chip can be injected under the skin exactly like a vaccine shot. Now, when you look at vaccine shots, IVs, when you look at, the needle of a shot, right? It looks like this. It looks like this. And that needle is fed into the arm right here. That's exactly what the incision is, man. That's exactly what this broken reed is. And it says on Egypt, which we know America's modern day Egypt. It says, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand. That sounds much like an incision to me, or that stamp, or that impalement, that branding. It says, and pierce it. So was Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, which is broken, Pharaoh is a broken reed, But when you go into the law tells you not to make any cuttings in your flesh, man. When you go into Leviticus chapter 19, I'm going to start at 28, it says, Salakia, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Now that goes into tattoos and that goes into piercings, right? But it says make no cuttings in your flesh. Now, where is it? So just looking at this definition. Here we go. Cut, from the Hebrew word sarat, or sarath, Slakia. It says incision, cut, an incision, cutting. So that same incision or cut goes back to Revelation the 13th chapter, man. Because the word for the definition for charagma that they took out was incision. So let's go back to this Leviticus. So now that you know that this mark of the beast is actually against the law, man. So there's no wonder why when you look at Revelation the 14th chapter that you will be punished for taking this mark of the beast, man. Because the scripture says if you break one commandment, you break them all, right? And this is willingly breaking a commandment, Because a lot of Jake out there is going to know and understand that this is wrong, that this is the mark of the beast, but they're still going to accept it, Like me and the brother Atazwan, here we're talking about this movie. It was an independent film called New World Order, and in the beginning of the movie, all throughout the movie, there was a young chick that knew that the RFID was a mark of the beast, and she was, basically spreading the word and telling everybody not to receive it. It's the mark of the beast. And her best friend that didn't even believe her, was like, oh, that's a myth. I don't believe in the Bible, this and that, this, that, and third. And at the end of the movie, the role switched. The one that knew was the mark of the beast and taught against it, she ended up taking it. And the one that didn't even believe it was the mark of the beast ended up not getting the mark of the beast and being persecuted, you know? So you're gonna have a lot of people that understand that this RFID chip is the mark of the beast, man. You know, and that eternal damnation comes with this. But they're still going to take the chip, man. Why? Because they're going to be threatened with death, starvation, being outcast from society, not being able to make a living for themselves. And to the average person, that's a lot of temptation, you know? The average person, they'll break under that sort of pressure. Because now you're talking about toying with people's livelihoods, you know? Now this Revelation 14:9, but you have to have a strong will, you know, in order not to bend to Esau's demands, man. And the elect, 144,000, aren't going to have aren't going to be broken, you know, by Esau in his demand and his temptation, man. You know, this is what the hour of temptation is about. You know, but the elect are going to prevail, man. It's Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Now, what do you think? Well, I'll just keep reading. It says, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You know, now what do you think that is, man? That's the thermonuclear missile. That's the ICBM intercontinental ballistic missile, man. That's the only thing that has enough fire to burn brimstone, man. You know, that's the only thing hot enough that you can compare to the Lord's indignation, to his anger, you know? And it says it will be poured out without mixture, meaning no filter, no chaser, as people like to say. It's going to be completely, uh, completely, uh, completely unfiltered, man. You know, it's going to be raw. It's going to come straight from the coals out of the fire, man. You know, it says, and the smoke of the torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Which this doesn't mean, you know, for all of eternity, for all the time, but it's going to be for a long time where America is going to burn forever, man. It's going to burn for a long time and shall not be inhabited. It says, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You know, so that's the judgment that people have coming to them. It's a judgment that we all have coming to us if you know, for some peradventure, you know, you slip up and you take this mark of the beast, man. You know, you take this RFID chip. This is the judgment that's waiting for you. You know, it says Psalms chapter 9 verse 15, and the thing is, that's also a judgment that's waiting for Esau, man. That's judgment that's waiting for Esau. That's judgment that's waiting for the other nations, because they're not going to have a problem taking this RFID chip, you know, because they're heathen. Who cares about them anyway? You know, this world was created for them, so everything that's going to be created is for them, you know. But the thing is, these things that they've created for themselves are going to be the same things that's going to get them destroyed. You know, this is Psalms chapter 9 verse 15. It says, the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken. You know, so they casted a net thinking that they were going to catch prey, you know, for them to eat, for them to feed on, you know, but all they're doing is catching themselves, you know. So the RFID chip that they created is going to play a vital part in their destruction, and these thermonuclear ICBM missiles are going to be the net which is their foot is taken, man. It's going to destroy them, and that's something they can't get out of, man. It says the Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Haggai Salah. It says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. You know? So not only will the wicked, which are 2/3 of Israel, and you have Esau, but you have the other nations as well that are going to be turned into hell, meaning the grave, you know? And all nations that forget the Most High. So everyone that decides to partake in this society is going to be destroyed, man. You know? That's what this world has coming to it for just for this, for this here, you know. And not only is it the judgment for this, but it's the judgment for all iniquity that has been culminating in America, man, since its inception. You know, since it was that first dragon, that Roman Empire. This destruction that America has coming has been brewing for thousands of years, man. You know. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great men sooner who will well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word with truth and in sincerity. Shalom.